This from the 33rd team. They tweet out 3 ways the Browns can get fixed. Number 1, strengthen the interior defensive line. Number 2, address the safety position. And number 3, find a new slot receiver. 33rd team is former NFL executives, front office personnel types. Tyler, yeah, and if the slot receiver has speed, even better.
Yeah, every single thing that they mentioned there is what the Browns need to do. You look at the interior defensive line, you have to add, at a minimum, 2 new defensive tackles. Now, could the Browns bring back Taven Bryan? I think that is a possibility that they bring him back, but you have to still add somebody else as a veteran. I'll be honest, I wish we would add 3 new defensive tackles. I just think that room was underperformed so bad last year that you have to do something. I know we're relying on Jim Schwartz to come in and fix everything. He also needs the personnel in order to do so. I'm hoping that Andrew Berry can get him the defensive tackles that he needs for his system. Also getting another solid defensive end would be nice because I think they're going to have to, especially with losing Jadeveon Clowney. So the Browns are going to look at defensive end, defensive tackle, pretty much everywhere on the defense, because then they also mentioned the safety position. A lot of free agents that could be available at the safety position for a bargain price. You look at Juan Thornhill, Marcus Epps, who is in Philadelphia and played under Jim Schwartz when Jim Schwartz was the defensive coordinator with the Philadelphia Eagles. Those are some names that really stick out to me. Rodney McLeod has experience with Jim Schwartz as well from his time in Philly. There are options there, and they need to be free safety options. The Browns do not have a true free safety. I think, too, from the NFL Combine, we're going to find out one way or another what happens with John Johnson III this offseason. Are the Browns going to stick with him because he is due a $1 million roster bonus in the next couple weeks here? We're going to find out if the Browns are going to stick with him, or we'll see if the Browns end up moving on. I think they're going to end up moving on from John Johnson III, which it's unfortunate it didn't work out like we all had hoped, but that's the way it goes in the NFL sometimes. And finally, the slot receiver. You can address that through the draft, free agency, or via trade. I would like it to be preferably through trade if you can find an option there. But at the same time, Robert Woods is available. He is former slot receiver, not necessarily the guy that's going to burn you away. But again, we talked about, Dave, just solid all-around football players. So Robert Woods is a guy to look at in the slot. If they go the draft route, we talked about him earlier in the show, but Josh Downs out of North Carolina, the perfect. I mean, you can't draw up a perfect slot receiver unless you look at Josh Downs' profile, and that's exactly what the Browns need. They need speed at the position. They need someone that can consistently separate, and they need speed. That's exactly what Downs has. He would give it to you. Whether he's there at 42, I don't know. You might have to trade up for him. Will the Browns even stay at 42 this year? Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun speculation as we wait for the NFL draft. But, yeah, I agree with everything they said there.